What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my co-main event breakdown for UFC 292. We got a title fight, Zhang Weili versus Amanda Lemos.
I need all the wins, yeah. Harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
And we are back for another breakdown and prediction. This week, we are breaking down the co-main event for UFC 292. We have the strawweight title fight, Zhang Weili, Amanda Lemos. I'm really looking forward to this fight. I think this fight is going to be absolute fireworks for as long as it lasts. I'm very high on both fighters. Two of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous fighters in the strawweight division at this point. Really looking forward to this fight. Really looking forward to breaking it down. Before we get into it, if you guys can please do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I already posted my full breakdown and prediction video for UFC 292, but wanted to definitely dig deeper into this co-main event, talk about it from a betting perspective. We'll see if we can make any money on this fight here, and we'll see if we can get the pick right as well. So I say we get right into it, and we're going to start on the Zhang Weili side. So Zhang Weili, she is 34 years old, 5'4", with a 63-inch reach, 23-3 and 3-2 in her last 5 fights. Amanda Lemos, she is 36 years old, 5'4", with a 65-inch reach. She is 13-2-1, and she is 4-1 in her last 5 fights. We'll take a look at where these odds opened up. Believe it or not, Zhang Weili opened up as a minus 550 favorite. She is currently minus 275. And Amanda Lemos opened up as a plus 400 dog, and she's currently plus 235. So money has came in on the very dangerous underdog in Amanda Lemos. And I mean, it's an interesting fight here because Amanda Lemos is so dangerous wherever the fight goes. On the ground, she has an incredible grappling game. She's able to get submissions, and then on the feet, she just has, quite frankly, unreal power for 115 pounds. It makes no sense. Both these fighters do, but Amanda Lemos especially, tons of power early on in the fight. The problem I have with Amanda Lemos is the potential cardio issues. Most notably was probably that Leslie Smith fight where she just completely death gassed, but at this point, that was years ago. That was up 2 weight classes at bantamweight, so I do forgive her for that. But what I don't forgive her for was the Angela Hill performance where she hurt Angela Hill bad in the first round. The second round was very close, and then the third round, Lemos just looked exhausted, like she didn't have a ton left. And that concerns me here against Zhang Weili, because Zhang Weili is not going to let you off the hook, like an Angela Hill, like some of these other fighters, right? If you get tired against, Zhang Weili, she's going to put it on you and get you out of there. So I think Lemos actually has a shot to maybe land something early here. I really do, but I give her about 7.5 to 10 minutes because I think this is going to be a very high-paced fight. I know she got a third round finish in the Marina Rodriguez fight, but just nothing happened in that fight. It was like Rodriguez was terrified of the power of Lemos, which that is 100% not going to be the case in terms of Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili is not afraid of anybody. Marina Rodriguez landed 19 strikes in the first 2 rounds of that fight. I mean, just unacceptable. Zhang Weili is very high volume. I think this is going to be a very high-paced fight. I think it's going to be a war. And in a war, if Lemos does not catch Weili early, whether it's with a sub or a knockout, she is going to get broken and she is going to get finished. So, with that said, we saw Zhang Weili knocked out in the first 60 seconds against Rose Namajunas with a head kick, right? So, she has been knocked out before, and she's going up against, one of the hardest hitters in the strawweight division, and Amanda Lemos. She hits like an absolute truck for the division. So Zhang Weili is definitely going to have to mind her P's and Q's, but as this fight goes on, as it starts to get extended to the second round, to potentially the third round, I think it's going to heavily favor Zhang Weili in this matchup. I feel like Zhang Weili is a fighter who is still at 34 years old. She's making rapid improvements. Each and every time we see Zhang Weili step foot into the octagon, it's like she's added a new wrinkle to her game. Nowadays she's going out there and just dominating fighters like Carla Esparza on the mat and just ragdolling her, submitting Carla Esparza, making her look like an absolute bum when she's not. So yeah, Zhang Weili, she can wrestle, she can grapple, she has a ton of power for the division, a ton of volume, she has cardio, toughness. There's really not a ton to not like about Zhang Weili, but she is facing an absolute killer here in Amanda Lemos, and Lemos is going to have some opportunities early. But if it's not early, it's not happening at all. I mean, Amanda Lemos is not winning a decision. That would be probably the most shocking outcome, quite frankly, of the card if Amanda Lemos went out there and won a decision. I think Amanda Lemos has to finish Zhang Weili early in this fight, and if she doesn't, I think she's in trouble. I expect Zhang Weili to eat some of these shots early, start to take over, start to pressure, I think the volume is going to start to add up, the damage is going to start to add up, and I think Amanda Lemos is going to start to break. I think as the fight goes on, Zhang Weili can start to mix in takedowns, get Amanda Lemos tired, and eventually finish her in the 3rd or 4th round. I think officially I went a 3rd round KO for Zhang Weili, and yeah, I think she gets Lemos out of there the later the fight goes. From a betting perspective, I think this fight's very interesting from a betting perspective. So like I said, a lot of money has came in on Amanda Lemos. She looks to be somewhat of a popular dog this week. If you like Amanda Lemos, I would probably take a look at like Lemos first round, I think if she wins, I seriously think it's in round 1. And from like a live betting standpoint, I think Zhang Weili could be a very good live bet because I think this first round could definitely be close because I think Amanda Lemos does belong. It's just as the fight goes on, that's where I start to have my serious concerns. So I think you might get a much better price on Zhang Weili from a live bet. But my favorite spot of this card is the fight doesn't go the distance. I mean, Amanda Lemos is a fighter who very rarely does see the scorecards in 3-round fights, let alone 5-round fights. Now we got a 5-round fight, and we got a girl in Lemos where I already question her cardio to begin with in 3-round fights. Adding those 2 extra rounds, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for a finish, not just on the Zhang Weili side, but the Lemos side as well. I think it's Lemos early, or I think it's Zhang Weili late, but Zhang Weili also could finish this early as well. We saw Jessica Andrade go out there and finish Lemos in the first round. So, I think the fight doesn't go to decision, although it is a strawweight fight. And typically you won't see strawweight fights this heavily favored to end inside the distance, but it is also a Zhang Weili, Amanda Lemos fight, a fight where I do expect them to go to war, a fight where I expect both to be dangerous wherever the fight goes. I think if this fight's on the feet, both fighters have the power to knock the other one out, and then when this fight does go to the mat, I think either fighter can get a sub. Amanda Lemos early or Zhang Weili late. Like if Amanda Lemos is tired, Zhang Weili could potentially sub her late in this fight if she's completely exhausted. But give me violence here first and foremost. The fight doesn't go to decision. Seems like a really good spot this week. It's something I like quite a bit. The over-under set at 3.5 rounds. I would lean towards the under there. I don't mind the Amanda Lemos first round sprinkle, and I also don't mind the Zhang Weili 3, 4, and 5 round sprinkles. I'm not sure what they are yet, but those are something that I will be taking a close look at. And then, like I said, the live bet for Zhang Weili. So I think there's a lot of angles to attack this fight from a betting perspective, but no doubt about it, this is going to be it's going to be a fun fight. It's going to be such a fun fight. I don't see how this fight's boring. I don't remember ever seeing really a boring fight between either fighters. I mean, they're always in very exciting fights. They're always very dangerous. One big moment between either of these fighters can change the whole fight or end the whole fight. So this is one I'm actually really looking forward to. And it's one of my favorite fights on the card. It's one of the best fights on the card. And really looking forward to it. So the final prediction is going to be Zhang Weili, and I will take Zhang Weili to win this fight. I will say by 3rd round finish. I think she weathers the early storm, takes some shots early on, survives, starts to put it on, grows into the fight, and starts to break Amanda Lemos down the stretch and finishes her and gets her out of there in that 3rd round. Zhang Weili is an absolute beast. So I like Zhang Weili. I like Zhang Weili to finish this fight, and I like her to do so in the 3rd round. There you have it, guys. Going with Zhang Weili for the co-main event. Be sure to take a look at the main event breakdown. Going to be diving a lot deeper into the main event, Sean O'Malley, Aljamain Sterling. And then, like I said, I already have my full card UFC 292 breakdowns out as well, where I went through all 9 fights. We have 9 fights at the moment, but they're going to be adding the 2 Ultimate Fighter finale fights as well. So we'll have 11 fights, I believe, and then we're also looking to potentially get Mario Batista a new opponent as well. So hopefully when it's all said and done, we have 12 fights, and I'll be going over all 12 fights on my live stream on Friday. So make sure you leave a like. It does help out a ton. Subscribe to the channel. That also helps out a ton so you don't miss out on the content throughout the week. Dana White's Contender Series content, main event, co-main event breakdowns. You got the full card breakdown, betting content, DraftKings content, prize picks content, just a lot going on. So make sure you do subscribe so you not miss out on all of that. Best of luck, everybody, for UFC 292. Great card this weekend. Enjoy it, and best of luck. See you guys later.